All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Channel Connection. First of all, I'm just going to put out a real quick apology to those of you that are tuning in now. I had said that, oh, it's going to come on an hour ago. Then it was my bad because I sent out an email to our participants saying that it was going to be 2:30 instead of 1:30 time Mountain Standard Time. So I apologize to any of you that are tuning in now that you were waiting for the show an hour ago. So I do apologize. I do hope that you come in, you watch the show. If you have any questions, put them down below and then we'll kind of get to them as we go through the conversation. If you have any questions kind of near the end as well, we'll try and get to those going along. If you wish to be a participant, please reach out to myself and or to Linda at any time, even during the show. You can email us or, after any time is fine, because the next show we will announce that because it's been filling up pretty fast and we want everyone to be able to come in, have a time to be able to get their reading done and enjoy it and go, yeah, I was a part of this and it was so amazing, because we want everyone to share their experiences with this, because it's been truly amazing as we've been going along. And as we noticed, some people get a little nervous coming in, but we just, we all relax and we get into a conversation. When we find near the end of it, actually not even near the end, kind of halfway through, there's like this theme that sort of pops up, right, Linda? We've been noticing just a familiar theme that happens with all the participants in that one setting each time. It's not always the same theme, but it's like one theme for one show, one for another, one for another. So, Linda, please again introduce yourself. I know we've been on a few times. You've been on my radio show. You are a beautiful, wonderful channeler. You are an author. You do the things, but have a quick introduction to yourself, and Masandia will do an introduction there as well. And then we'll go down to bringing our participants on.
Well, thank you. Beautiful introduction, beautiful opening. And before I forget, I just looked up on my calendar the next day because we set it up. I don't know if you remember. We set it up for, it'll be 6 weeks. It'll be August 7th. So it's a Thursday and it'll 4:30 Mountain Time, 3:30 Pacific Time.
Okay.
And yeah,
so reminder to me. Send participants the right time. Okay.
Write it down. Write it down.
It's now out there. It's out there. Okay.
Well, I want to say to your listeners, I should say our listeners, it's our show.
Yeah, that's right. Our big, beautiful audience.
Channeling to me is as natural and as ordinary as serving you a cup of tea. It's natural, it's beautiful. And when I channel, I'm what some people call, I'm a conscious trance channeler. So I go into a trance, but it's not an unconscious trance. I'm aware of my experience while I'm in it, which is why that in my counseling practice, I'm able to weave channeling, which is a unique, I only know one other person that does this, and not as a conscious channeler, more as an interpreter of the channel message and into his practice. So it's a very unique approach of combining the beautiful guidance and on awakening, on getting clear about what our core beliefs are, on life direction, but weaving that with somatic processes, parts therapy, hypnotherapy, because I think processing is an important part of any guidance, because we need time to integrate, to digest, integrate. Yeah. And we do a little bit of that here. So despite, even when I channel for a participant, we look at ways for integrating that into their lives. So that's and we came up with this idea in my interview with you on Underground Radio C, and it was, hey, Linda, you said, let's do a group channeling. Oh, I've been thinking of doing that. Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
I'm going to do my Soul Circle, which is a monthly membership. Same members come and we do a monthly session, which is absolutely wonderful. But
Yeah.
this is also an opportunity for people because at no cost,
Yeah.
you know, sharing the blessing.
It's truly invaluable, I think,
Yeah.
to be able to share it and just give some advice to some others that sometimes they have no other place to go. They, you can turn to your friends, you can ask them questions, you can ask for their opinions, their advice. And, you have one friend that's like, yeah, yeah, go for everything. And the other friend's like,
Mhm.
so you kind of like, oh, you almost need the third party to go, okay, yeah, what's kind of the guidance that I need in this situation. So that's what I find is truly invaluable is almost the third opinion
Mhm.
coming in going, okay, maybe like, you got a positive and a negative, and then maybe this is like the balance where it's like, well, look at the positive and negative. What's driving you more forward, the positive stuff, or is the negative stuff kind of flopping? And what should we do about it? So, what I love about what you do, like you said, it's not just the channeling, but it's also the counseling within
Yeah.
interwoven because you are a certified counselor.
Mhm.
You have that. So that's
Mhm.
truly important for any one of those that you guys are watching going, oh no, she's just a wishy-washy type of
Yeah.
psychic, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
She's certified. So this brings more, experience with us
Mhm.
into these sessions that we can truly say, yeah, this is not just one of those things you find at a county fair. So I just want to throw that out there because when I first met Linda too, I was like, oh, a channeler, like, we'll see how this goes. You get your little skeptical, little, those magic 8 balls, and you're like, you shake it. Is my future bright? Maybe, you know. So it's nice to have someone who's been there, done that, and really truly knows her stuff. Because I had a channeling session with her. I didn't tell her stuff, and and I was like, okay. She knew, and I was like, this is pretty good, authentic. And she's very graceful. She
Mhm.
takes it all in. She's not hard on anyone, which is it's like this motherly instinct that she has. It's very beautiful. So she's very gentle and
Hey,
graceful. With that,
thank you.
shall we bring in our
Yeah.
participants? Let's do that. Welcome, everyone, to the Channeling Connection. How are you guys all doing today? You can
Thumbs
put on your
up,
mics. Yeah, put on your
nodding.
mics for
Good,
now.
good.
Yay.
Doing well.
I just want to ask real quick. I just want to go around to like each of you real quick and ask what was the biggest thing that drew you to this show? Let's start with Juliet. And just like a couple sentences.
I myself have been deepening into channeling, both as a therapist and like in my personal self and practice. And so I just feel an energetic pull from my heart to be present here.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, Linda, how about yourself?
Um, well, I'm a part of Linda's Soul Circle, so just because I knew that there were some spaces for this month as well, but it was particularly the idea of just working a little bit with the theme of perfectionism um, that attracted me to today. And it happens to be my 64th birthday today, so I kind of thought the timing was nice.
Happy birthday
To
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday to you. Beautiful. Look at that. Divine timing, I'd say. Anya, what brings your beautiful face here?
So essentially, I did listen to one previous session that you ladies recorded, and I am a very deeply spiritual human being. I also, get those instincts and feelings, and not necessarily in my own private life a lot of the time, but for other people. So I'm definitely I believe in energy and I believe in surrounding yourself with like-minded people, people that inspire you, people that can help you work through your own demons that you're particularly not that susceptible to in terms of, just even though our gut instincts tell us we're not always for ourselves doing the best things. So I always want to learn, and I want to make this world a better place, and hang out and surround myself with people that are, like-minded. So thank you for having me. I'm grateful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you all for sharing your ways that you came here. I think that's important to kind of know everyone was sort of pulled in. See, we already have a theme happening right in here. So that's wonderful.
We're all
Well,
energy, right? Like everything
yeah,
is energy. So
And it
for
sounds
sure.
like energy
absolutely.
workers.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So we'll have you again mute your mics for now. And then this part will go through and
Mhm.
each of you will take your turns to have your inquiry.
Before I invite you into your inquiries, there's something I want to share. Something that I've been exploring with channel guidance and aware, and in seeing that in my practice, seeing that with friends, that it's a really challenging time for the feminine right now. The ways of the yin, the ways of our sensitivity. We've been working so hard as a collective feminine to rise up. And the more we rise up, the more the yang energy, the masculine, is really trying to stay in control. And I use the words masculine and feminine, yang and yin, specifically because I don't want to pigeonhole ourselves in gender roles, like, oh, this is women, this is male, masculine, men. It's not what I'm trying to say. Is that we as a collective, both men and women, are really struggling right now with the yang being quite out of balance and the yang needing so much control. So that's our minds, that's our intellect, that's the perfectionism, that's the inner protector, that's the inner doer, the part of us that lives outside of ourselves externally. That's really out of balance at this stage. And we're seeing that in our politics. We're seeing that in the aggression in the world. There's such a need for control. And I saw this during the pandemic because we switched so much to online work that a lot of people were working from their shoulders up, telling me stories and wanting to be really attached to their stories and wanting to what am I going to do about this? How? And what I say to people, and this is a healer said this to me once, she said, how is the last step. And I have one client, she just wants to understand a feeling before she lets herself feel it. There's that yang energy just totally in charge. And I'm like, there's no way that you can understand your feeling before feeling it, because it's not rational. It's like, no, it doesn't have permission to even be here unless I understand it. And how many of us have been treated that way when we share something with someone? And almost have to feel like we have to explain ourselves to be heard. But we also know what it feels like to be heard without having to explain, for others to empathize with compassion, not to join us in sympathetic resonance when we're just kind of like in the deep end of overwhelm together, but where somebody can just reflect back and go, yeah, you sound so heavy. Yeah, you sound so depleted, so discouraged. Or, wow, you sound so excited about that. Instead, we get opinion for opinion and control for control. And I tuned in to the session here and all of you here, and I had a sense, oh, this is yin energy. Now we're here to lift one another as sensory beings. as intuitive beings. So welcome. What I'd love to invite now for the listeners, for the participants, to close your eyes and tune in. The listeners can close their eyes and just anticipate what is to come. And for the participants here, close your eyes and ask yourself if now is a good time to step forward, to be seen, to ask a question, or ask for guidance. And if it feels right for you right now, just bring your hand up. You don't have to use any of the emojis. Just so we're a small group. I'll see your hand as it comes up. Yeah, tune in. Does this feel like the right moment for you? Not for the group, for you. Juliet, thanks for taking your time there.
When I was tuning in a bit earlier, I wrote down a few questions, so they're present with me, and I'm curious if there's a flow that you might recommend in terms of how to navigate that, whether to begin with one.
I'm seeing two questions. The number 2 came up. It's like they come hand in hand and they're in the foreground.
Okay, I'm seeing the 2. And so one of them is there have been the language I use is these multi-dimensional beings as guides that come through, and they often facilitate quantum level healing. And I haven't received a name for them, and linked into the second piece is there's a lot of excitement and shifts right now as I'm pregnant. I'm about 6 months now, and so in this phase there's been a tremendous shift that's taken place with lots of clarity and like cutting things out. And what I'm a witness to is in my personal practice, teaching about pleasure and working as a somatic space holder and weaving in this energy healing. And it's like there are multiple channels in which I see myself facilitating, working, and I'm just wanting to know what to really anchor and to focus on, and how to be able to articulate that. The how coming up of how to articulate that to others. And that weaves back to the original, like if I don't have a name for these beings, what? Yeah.
Thank you. So you're feeling the presence of the multidimensional group. Massey D is a group as well. Group, I refer to them as a group soul. They refer to themselves as a group soul. And I hear that, like the naming, like the grounding, the rooting is something you feel like you're yearning for, wanting for that to have just a stronger sense of your focus point. And then in terms of the focus point is you're seeing it happening in the healing. And I think you get a sense of there being more, like it's almost like you're being prepared. You know? And your question feels less about how in terms of where am I going with this? How do I get there? And it's more, how do I stay open to that? How do I foster my availability for it? Not just for myself, but in my practice. That resonates?
Yeah. Instead of kind of because what can happen is I get excited and then because there is so much excitement, like a book that's coming through and these courses and it's exactly.
So I want to mention for the listeners and for you here, and I mention the listeners, so I want to include them. And when I channel or share any of my own teachings, it's not gospel. When I'm interested more than even guidance through me is how it resonates, how it touches you, how it moves you, how it blesses you. So I trust in your own process in this. We are more than ready. We have our own personality, and that personality gets quite complex because there's 8 of us. Used to be 6, and then there was 7, and then not long ago, an 8th joined us. As Dorfila expands, Dorfila is our name for Linda. And Juliet, we have a name for you, for the multidimensional being, the group soul that you're working with is very much like us, part of your oversoul, part of your own soul family, part of your being. It's not the same as saying it's your higher self. It's not accurate because they have their own personality and their own multidimensional lives. You work with a team of 7, and 3 of them are incarnated and work as like pillars. You're the 4th pillar. So there's 4 pillars, or 4 points of the foundation that lead to the pinnacle, such as a pyramid. It's a stability. So there's a lot of stability in your channeling gift. And these beings are Pleiadian, as are you. And you've worked with the Syrian Council, you've worked with the Octarians, you've worked with other star beings, we call them no-names, such as us. We're 8 galaxies removed from this one as you know it, and from where we are, we only name ourselves as it serves this incarnation, as it serves this connection with the earth plane. Where we are, we have no name. Where we are, we don't use language that way. And so think of yourself as communicating with a forest of different trees, different species, but all linked to the mother tree, all linked to the Pleiadian foundation. And the 4 pillars are of Pleiadian descent. May we continue, Juliet?
Yes.
Your group is giving us 3 names to give to you and for you to choose what is most in alignment. One of the names is Estra. The other is Qantas. And the other is Katara. So she, the overseer of the group, we have an overseer as well, and the overseer is who is speaking to you right now. She, the overseer, trust you to know. And the guidance you often receive as that single high note from the overseer, as quite a high note. I, as soul's overseer, the Mass India's overseer, has a lower note, more yang. She's highly high note, highly yin vibration. And she wants you to live in intuition, live in intuition, live in intuition, hint, hint, intuition. To live there. And for the human conditioning, that's bloody hard to do. Well, how am I supposed to be prepared for that? How do I know what to offer? What groups, what workshops, how do I do this? And intuition would have you stop and be a vessel for new life and gift the channeling to you first, and to let it then radiate out, which is less about channeling it into your business model and more into channeling into your healing gift. And when in time you have a better understanding of your thread and how it weaves into the healing vibration, only then will you have a clear direction in terms of how to bring that into your marketing, into your business identity. Right now, there is none. Because it's not your team. Well, they're not interested in your business. They could care less about how you weave that into your business. It's your human experience. It's your creativity. It's how you bring that channel guidance and how you share it. That's all yours. And the message is to trust yourself in your divine timing. And you're going to be changing a lot with motherhood, hint, hint. You know that. But you're going to be changing a lot. And so to set things up right now, clear deductive way, that's the yang energy trying to control reality. And of course, that's what it's trying to do. The collective is really ramping that up right now. And the greatest gift that you can give your pregnancy is to slow things down. And of course, that will leave you and many of the listeners here today. Slow down, slow down. No. What am I missing? What am I missing? I can't slow down. I'm going to miss something. I won't be prepared. I have to get it all figured out before the baby comes. Thank you for smiling with us, to recognize yourself in that. Dear one, how is our message landing for you?
Yeah, it's landing very deeply, and it's resonating. So there's lots of knowing in that validation, and I hear the question of, but what about the financial stability to set up that yang self?
Of course. When I hear you say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you already have a lot of that structure in place, in a way that you're marketing, in the way that you work with clients, that you already have that in place. But it's almost like the intuitive, the healer in you. It feels a bit less about how to put it out there, but almost how to accept that you can trust the healer within, you can trust the channel within to be sustainable, to take care of you, to draw in the right clients. Don't want that. Yeah. And there's that trust factor, that trust piece here. So there's a part of you here that doesn't know she can trust that. Doesn't know that you've got a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together, a lot of building blocks together. You know, when I think of changes to come, I don't think of the structure changing so much as the layout within the structure changing a little. Yeah. Yeah, so you're nodding. So I saw you take a deep breath. I could feel your breath in my own body. And I have a hunch that's how you work with people. You feel them. You feel their breath. You feel their shortness of breath. You feel their blocks. You feel what they're holding psychologically, physically, mentally, psychically, emotionally. You feel them. You feel the burden, and you also have a sense of the way through. We always have a sense of the way through. Always have a sense of the way through. And the thing with people is just because you have a sense of the way through doesn't mean they're ready to go through. Yeah, you know that. And yet, we hold the door open for that. Yet we become the beacon for that, the lighthouse that says over here, this way. Yeah. My dear friend, we will conclude here and say that the more that you can, we like that metaphor, the lighthouse, the more that you can embody that as a deeply soulful metaphor. In fact, you can weave that into your marketing. Yeah, that's it. And use that as a key image, a key metaphor. And to identify less with being the lighthouse, though you are, but help people become their own lighthouse, eh? Their own beacon of light, their own frequency of knowing. Yeah. Now, you understand all these words, and 6 months from now, you're going to understand them more. And a year from now, you're going to understand them even more. In a year and a half from now, you're going to make this message your own. And 2 years from now, well, watch out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Our pleasure, dear one. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, dear one. Now for care for timing, we would like for Linda with a Y to unmute. We didn't wait for you to put your hand up. We know what we're doing.
Oh, good.
Because you put your hand up earlier when you mentioned a piece about perfectionism, and you're ripe. You're ready. Oh, should we use the word breakthrough? Oh, we might intimidate you if we use the word breakthrough. Am I ready? Am I ready? As you do this and you try to get away from, no, I can't get through I can't go through that threshold. I'm not ready. But we just said you are. No, I'm not. But your spirit is saying you are. No, I'm not. Whew, what a contradiction going on in here. Hey. And you've been receiving the message you're not ready. Oh, for so long. We could say, yeah, since your childhood, but then we'd it'd be more accurate to say for lifetimes. And then for ancestry and multiple probabilities, message. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not good enough. You're not ready. Don't you see it? Don't you see it? You're not good enough. And of course, you don't think that thought. It's not an overt thought. It's not like you're running the hamster wheel of that incessant, self-negating dialogue. Far from it. And yet it's quite ingrained. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. Well, you're never going to be good enough for this yang-centered world. You're never, ever going to be good enough for the world that's based on intellect and achievement and how in control you are. You're good enough for the sensory world. Oh, you're good enough. You're better than good enough. You're effervescent, brilliant. Can you let that in? That's a nice deep breath in. Take your time. It kind of threw us all in the deep end here. As you're tuning in, I want to share something with you. Something a friend reminded of. He reminded me of. He said, truth is, we're deep sea creatures. Metaphorically speaking, we're deep sea, deep feeling, deep knowing creatures. But as a collective, we live in the shallows. You know, it's out of sync with our true in-depth nature. Yeah. So as Cindy is reflecting back, seeing your in-depthness, your effervescence, what you radiate. And that's a good question. Can you take that in?
It's funny, the picture that was coming to me when you just said deep sea, that we are deep sea creatures. I was picturing myself at the time of my 50th birthday, venturing down 40 feet down with the scuba gear on, still navigating my utter fear of breathing underwater and literally holding on to the instructor because I couldn't pull the thing out of my mouth and put it back in to swim by myself. So I literally, he towed me around to see turtles. And there was moments when I think that I even experienced some panic under, just not from breathing in a way that would allow the oxygen to flow freely. But the triumph of getting to go down so deep, something I had not planned, to just open myself to that. There's something in that image for me right now, just because I remember being at the surface, and I hadn't realized that he'd put the weights into the back of my gear, and I was still trying to stay at the top, and my body was being pulled down, and I wanted to breathe. And then just because of it, he just yanked me. And as soon as I went underwater, it was instinctive. Oh, I stopped breathing. And the gear was already in my mouth, and I breathed from in the tank. And many times in my life, when I've been so afraid to the point of immobilization, although I haven't always appreciated it, someone has literally pushed me into the pool or something, and I realized I knew how to do it afterwards. So I don't know why I don't know exactly why I'm bringing that up in response to, can I let it in?
And I let the spirits push me in, nudge me to seeing my preciousness, really recognizing myself. You know, despite the fear, the panic, despite what I'll call the perfectionism, what I'll call the control, I have to get this right. When I get it right, I'll go in. When I get it right, I'll go under. And you got it right going under, in the process. And often that's what happens. We soothe our fear doing what we're afraid of. And isn't it wonderful that you could hang on to the instructor? Like, you didn't go off on, it wasn't just thrown in the unknown on your own. That your tender fear, your tender inner child, tender insecurity could rely on someone. You weren't alone. I'm giving that message to the perfectionist in you. I'd like to know, can the perfectionist in you begin to see, like, oh, even when things aren't totally figured out, even when I don't have it all lined up, I'm okay. Can the perfectionist in you start to be curious and, oh, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe I'm okay. Even though I'm not perfect, even though I'm not good enough, says the conditioned reality, says the child, says the ancestors, says the wound, the original wound. I'm not good enough. Oh, I can still let others guide me. I can still be taken care of. I'm okay. I can still go in deeply. I can still be myself. I can still adventure. I'm still adventurous. Now, if this was a private session, Dulphil would guide you deep, deep in to the trance that your nervous system is yearning for. We're not going to go there right now. Instead, we're going to ask you to receive an in-depth trance awareness, staying in this cognitive awareness. Depth from a cognitive perspective. Depth here in a space, so that you can begin to, maybe I am okay. Can you receive that?
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know that you can receive that? How is your body informing you?
There's a level of relaxation. I can feel my feet on the ground. And sometimes I want to say always a smile when you ask me a question I know I can say yes to, that's on my face.
Mm-hmm. So you can feel the yes in you. Your lips, your face, your smile.
Because my cognitive structure is always in the background saying, but how? But how?
Mine too. Yeah. We do that. I like remembering, we're not one thing. We're not one facet. We're not never one expression. And I think of peace. I don't think at peace versus strife. I think of being of peace with the strife, with the complexity, with the inner contradictory. Well, you've heard me say this before, but I have the image of a seesaw, and whatever, like the worry, and wherever we go, like, okay, I accept this. Yes, I can receive this, but no, I don't have it. How? And at the midst of all this, there's a center point. There's that pillar. There's the axis. And that's really what this work is about. The spiritual work, this healing work, is where, lubricating the axis point, like the rotation, to be able to be flexible and adaptive, receptive, and moving to that center. So the balance is not as opposed to imbalance. It's being balanced, holding space for the imbalance. It's, I say to people, how much can we cultivate comfort, being comfortable with the unease? Linda, thank you. Do you feel complete? Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do feel free to step forward if you have an inquiry.
Hi. So, on a very surface level, I know that you already been in tune with spirit guides, but with tomorrow's new moon in Cancer, we're dealing with a lot of emotions, a lot of water. We're on the theme already. I was wondering, without any specifics, if you particularly have any sort of collective message or anything specific. For myself, I am intrigued, and I feel like I could spend a lot of time with you just one on one with, things that, I am working on myself, and I'm working on a lot. And I'm just going to say, ladies, I couldn't wait for 2025 to be here because I had a couple of really tough years. And let me tell you, I feel it in my blood that better things are coming, but 2025 has been a challenge, hands down.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you were sharing before the episode a little bit of what you're going through.
When we met at original time,
I know,
to
I
cover
know, I
that.
know.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, I even phoned yesterday to double check because I'm just really good at, and I mean, being an executive assistant and keeping executives in the right place with the right people at the right time. I'm off from work right now, and I definitely am not on a good schedule myself for myself. So no apologies needed.
You're welcome for messing that up. You can blame someone. I'll take it. I was keeping you in check. That's all, making sure you're still on your grind.
Okay, what time are you coming here tomorrow?
9:30.
Anya, I'll bring us back to
Let's
Yeah.
bring it back.
your question, which is it's indirect. It's an indirect question in a way. You're asking if there's a universal message, maybe a message for you in terms of the new moon and new beginnings. But you mentioned it in terms of where you've come from, where we've come from, and it's been a difficult few years, and you're sensing the newness. You're sensing there's something unfolding that's to look
I-
forward to. So there's an anticipation for.
But I
And
mean,
is
we
that-
always want to stay hopeful, right? Like, no matter what life throws at us, we'll sit in the shit, pardon my language, and eventually we got to climb ourselves out. And I mean, life is always full of surprises. But I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Well, my sense of you as you're tuning into the new moon, as you're tuning into, and did you said new moon in Cancer?
It isn't Cancer.
So that's deep feeling.
Water.
That's home. Care, tending to, connection. But as you're talking about anticipating, being hopeful for new beginnings, I feel within your field a kind of instability, a kind of shakiness. It's almost like this little green shoot trying to take root in this rubble, and it's like we got a little bit of earth. I got a bit. There's kernels that take root in the rock, and you see a tree root, and you see this big monstrous tree going. How did you do that? So I think that there's a foundation here of instability that I want to speak to. May I?
Of course.
Okay, so that feels like the opening for Mass India. Okay, it's not Mass India. This is one of your own. Talk about new energy. Feels like a baby trying to take shape, trying to grow. Having a hard time finding the oxygen. I feel a bit like learning how to breathe underwater here. I've been trying to reach you. for a long time. Mm-hmm. How do I explain who I am? I have to explain who I am because maybe then you'll recognize me and then maybe you'll receive me. I'm frustrated. I'm a new branch of your tree. I'm a new fragment of your entity. A new family member on the other side of the veil, spiritual, energetically, psychically. I want to be received. And in receiving me, I'll help you be more curious about life. I'm innocence. I'm the expression of innocence. And innocence is intuition. You speak of the moon is intuition in all its phases. Not just the new phases, not just the happy phases, not just the easy phases, not just when it gets better phase, but now phase. Now when it's hard phase. I want you to look up and start really enjoying your playful spirit, which I'm a part of. You connect with divinity, you connect with source, you connect with guidance, you connect with the right way, the right work, the right work, the right work, the right work. When you remain playful, you take anything too seriously, and you let anybody else take things too seriously. You let them dictate your happiness, and it robs all of us of who you really are. I miss you. I want to come home to you. I'm just going to come back in as me because that's quite intense, and I want to know how that's landing.
It's definitely, in terms of you bringing out my intuition, I love people so much, and often in the last little bit, I have gone against my intuition, just wanting to see good in people. Exactly, it's everything resonates. Like my peace has been stolen from me, or I gave it away. I gave my power away, and definitely have not been in touch with my playful side. So and I know that, my flamboyant, playful side is flamboyant and playful, and it's wonderful, but I'm not there right now. So thank you. But I definitely am feeling everything you have channeled on a deep level. Like I said, I'm not in total despair and dysregulation like I have been.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to my power, but like as you come back to your power after, certain awful circumstances happen, it's not that easy to fix things as it is to allow for them to be broken. So, but I'm just feeling the light coming in. I am feeling. I feel like I'm smiling more. I feel like I'm coming to me a little bit more. And, and I know, that it is coming. It's just,
And
the
I'd like
road.
to bring us into the present. I'd like to come back. Yes, that's coming. And isn't that wonderful? You have that anticipation and that you have that hope. And I'd like to take sips of that here. Because we're creatures that live for what's coming, that we miss out
Or what
on
is.
the way that it's showing up now in our lives now. And I would like to speak to the part of you. There's a playful part of you. You recognize her, and isn't that wonderful? So that the being that channeled through me can feel seen and welcomed, accepted by you, which is beautiful. And then there's a part of you that's been hurt, disappointed, let down, and probably struggles with how do I get by in this world. And I think it's a part of you that doesn't trust you, that doesn't trust your intuition, that doesn't trust that you can follow your intuition, that doesn't trust that you can be a flamboyant, playful person. That is also discerning. That's also make choices. Like that mother tree in the forest looks after her little saplings, the bubbly little saplings, because she's connected to the fungi network, because she's connected to all the forest and the trees and the nutrients in the soil. So you can tend to the bubbly nature of the newness by really coming back to your knowing, your roots, your connection to what you need, valuing your needs. When you value your needs, you know how to discern. You don't lose your power. And I know it's easy. And I grew up in an environment where boundaries, what were those? Okay. Where somehow I learned to take care of everybody else before me. And it was quite a journey to come back to me. And to value needs. And every now and again I get tripped up. I'm like, wait a minute. What are my needs? What do I need? And I start to feel like bad about my needs. And I'm like, I'm sorry I have needs. No, I'm not. My needs are valuable. My needs serve our relationship. My needs serve our family. Our dear friend, we will complete here is Mass India to help you digest that, because that's a lot. You don't need structure. You don't need stability. You don't need to have a clear direction. I'm going to do this for a living. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to fix this. And I'm going to resolve that. No. What you need is to feel good about what you're doing. Feel good about who you're working for, with, the environment. It's got to feel good. It's got to feel good. You don't need tons of approval and acknowledgement. Whatever, you don't need that, but you need to feel purposeful. You need to feel like you're not having to jump over all these hoops and these obstacle courses to get your work done.
Mm-hmm.
Like oppressive personalities, hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
You need freedom. You don't even need to be acknowledged. It's not a fundamental need of yours, but to be respected, to be seen. Because that bubbly, playful energy of yours doesn't lack intelligence or know-how. So just take a moment to settle back and down into your seat and really feel like, oh, yeah. I don't need to be acknowledged, but damn it. Being treated like I know what the fuck I'm doing would be nice. We like swear words, they're fun.
I don't mind them at all. They're part of my daily vocabulary for sure. I try to refrain, but I don't know.
So take some time here to settle right back and down into, oh, yeah. I don't need praise, I don't need acknowledgement, but I want to be treated with respect. Like I know my job, I know what I'm doing. And my needs in my work life, my needs in my home life, yeah, they have to matter, right? So taste that. We're not going to, well, someday it'll be better. It's going to get better. Tomorrow's going to get better. It's better right now in this body of waking up to my need to matter. We need to take that in, dear one. Anya, you fucking matter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Get everything out of the way. You matter. That and that and that worry, that concern. Okay, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna make ends meet? It's like I matter, my path
Sorry,
matters.
guys. Millie, stop. Come on. Come, Millie. Sorry, guys. My dog is just barking. The neighbors are coming home. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries. It's a good interruption. It helps me be aware of time and come back into my body.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question or meet your need?
Most definitely.
Glad
It's
for
funny
you.
you said that because I'm literally sitting in it, and I know that I was meant for more than what it is that I've been doing. It was a goal of mine to be a certain place, make certain amount of money, and blah 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 blah. I got there, and I'm like, I don't think that this is for me to do for the rest of my life. So that sort of, I am giving myself the permission to also, change that aspect of my life where I would feel like I'm bringing value to the world rather than doing what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So thank you.
My dear friend, in closing, you don't have to look far from what you've been doing. You're good at it. However, in order to be fulfilled in your work, you need more autonomy. And so, yeah, keep aiming for big bucks. Keep aiming for top positions. Yes, from a new perspective. So you ask yourself every day to take on this job, to take on that endeavor, whatever role, what do I need to sustain it? Who do I need to be in this to feel good about myself? How do I need to be treated to feel good about myself in this role? To feel alive. And remember the word playful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh, yes, I was muted. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say thank you.
I heard that. I heard the thank you. Yes,
Oh, you
thank you too.
did?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Wonderful. Because
pleasure. Thank you. Carrie, you were going to say something?
Oh, no, that was just so good. I get into the fabulous part of I get to sit back and witness this. And then there's always like I said, there's always a theme, there's always something. And I go, yeah, it's almost like so relatable to each person on just something. But today, intuition was the biggest theme that was going around. And we mentioned water too. And I think water is more, we need to have an intuition like water and let it flow and not be blocked. So it was like, oh my goodness, I just saw that. And I was like, wow, because I'm the same. I get into the boat of, I don't trust myself. I don't trust my intuition, or because sometimes I follow it and it leads me the wrong way. And I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. So I'm like, I don't know. Am I going the right way? Am I doing the right things? Am I, even like Anya with work, I feel sometimes like, oh, am I in the right direction of work? Am I enough? Am I all the questions, right? That's always what goes through. And like Linda, the other Linda is like, oh, you feel underwater, and the same thing. there are days I feel like my instructor has thrown these weights on my back and it's like, okay, Care, good luck, drops me down. And I'm going, I can't breathe. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know.
Mhm.
The same feeling of just drowning. And then I have to go, who am I trusting here? How's my intuition? What am I doing? Am I stopping? Am I being playful enough? Am I just relaxing in a moment?
And let me add something about intuition here, because we're on that theme. Intuition has been co-opted in our society, in our collective, by the need to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what intuition is. Intuition is not about getting the best results, avoiding discomfort, but it's been co-opted by that. Intuition is not rational. It's a deep essence within us that is aware of so much more. And it could very well be that based on where we are, our belief system, and the choices in our field, it could be that the undesirable outcome was the highest probability and your intuition took you exactly there. And it could be that living whatever conflict came up then directs you in a way that you couldn't have accessed from the onset. So I'm based on a spirituality that recognizes that the human experience is the way. The human experience and all the challenges and the pain and the hardship and the beauty and the bliss is the way. And yet here we are picking sides. Well, this is better and that's better. I'm not very spiritual if I miss that. If I didn't get that right, I'm like, oh, you know? Yeah. So thank you, Carrie. Thank you for bringing us back to this piece, the theme of intuition, and just for your beautiful vulnerability, because I do it too. It's like, how did I miss that? I overrode my intuition. Are you sure? I saw it coming, damn it. Yes, I overrode it. Well, maybe what you saw was the only outcome you can choose.
That's true. Yeah.
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 Thank you
Thank
all.
you, everyone.
It was good. It was beautiful. And yeah, I know you have an appointment to get to, so we will chat tomorrow.
Sounds wonderful. It was lovely to meet you all, ladies.
Too.
Thank you for the guidance and the insight. I greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
And have a wonderful rest of your day, ladies.
Thank you.
You.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thank you, Juliet. It was quite an honor to be able to celebrate in space with you many things, your pregnancy and this beautiful gift and your Pleiadian connection. Wow.
Thank you. I feel very honored to be in this space with you all and to receive. And happy birthday, Linda.
Thank you.
So cool. Right? I should have brought a cake. Darn it. Oh yeah, I can send you my love.
Yes.
There's some love for you for your birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. Truly amazing. Keep doing what you do. Absolutely. Juliet, enjoy the pregnancy because this is the best part.
Thank you. Yeah, I truly am. I'm deepening into pleasure. Preparing for an orgasmic birth, so I'm very excited. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
for
That's
the
amazing.
support.
Great meeting you. Thank you again.
Here.
Bye for now.
Wow. That's so much.
That's a big session. Yeah.
See, and we only had 4
I know.
participants today, and last time we had,
And one
you
that
know,
one that couldn't
6,
make it.
and
So
that's
we
incredible. All of the listeners, thank you for tuning in today. We had, people kind of coming in and out watching the show, and we hope you guys experience it in a way that, even myself, I'm not participating per se. I get to sit back and also be an audience member, but really get that closer message only because everyone's right near me. However, you as an audience coming in and listening, I hope something resonated with you today, because I know for sure intuition is one thing. It's not just a female thing, it's also a male thing. And sometimes males don't listen to it as much as females. So as we kind of did the yin and yang kind of topic today, that might be something the males can sit on
Mhm.
and sit back and go, what's my intuition? What's going on? And yeah, maybe if you have a female around you, you can ask them about their intuition and play off of it and have some fun with it and see what happens. Linda, what do you think?
Oh, thought I turned that off.
No. Someone's intuitive to call.
Yeah. Voicemail.
Voicemail.
Just completing, I had mentioned the Soul Circle earlier. Linda, with a Y, our
Yeah.
neighbor. My middle name is Lynn. I think maybe when I'm in the Soul Circle, I should change my name to Lynn.
Just put LN.
Lin. If
Or
I
something.
pronounce like it's French name, it's Line, but that reads like line, but it's Lynn.
No line. What's up?
Yeah. We meet once a month,
Mhm.
Wednesday evening a month. So the second to last Wednesday evening, and we join for these kinds of sharings. There's more group sharing,
Mhm.
and sometimes group members supporting others, and just that spiritual lens, seeing things
Yeah.
through a spiritual lens, letting spirit see through our eyes, so
Beautiful.
that we can see and sense more.
Wonderful.
This works about.
So if anyone wants to sign up for that, where can they
Yeah.
go? Where can they
Yeah,
reach
there's 6
out?
openings available. It's limited. It's a small group limited to 25 members.
Okay.
And so they can go onto my website, lindanardelli.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So those of you listening, you can head over and sign up, and you can do it monthly instead of maybe a one-timer on here, because space is limited to sign up for ours. So August 7th is the next session. So it'll be session 5. If you want to come on for that, please sign up as soon as possible. We will put, I think the registration link was in your newsletter, but I don't know if I have it up on my socials. I'll have to see. Otherwise,
it's on my website,
okay.
and it's my email. So it's a link to my email, so that because
Okay.
it's limited to the 6 members, people need
Right.
to email me, and then I share and I sent them the registration consent form.
Okay. So you can contact Linda, and then, she can give you the link, or however that may work out for you. That would be good. If you, by all means, don't remember Linda's name or what's going on, you can contact myself, and then I can throw you over to hers as well. So we'll get you in there. But space is limited. We started off wanting about 10 participants. I think we only had 8 or 7 the first time. It was quite a bit, because we want everyone to have a turn, be able to give a reasonable, response, and have them be able to just take their time with this, because we don't want to rush people when they're trying to give an explanation or they want an answer. We want everyone to just be able to take it in, have their one-on-one and in that kind of environment. So it's more special that way, I believe, and everyone can kind of take it in a little bit easier instead of being rushed through a circle and going, okay, you're next. Like it's not very fun. We want everyone to not feel like a number. We want everyone to feel like themselves and have that special moment.
It's worked out well.
Yeah.
Like even when we had 6 participants, they're all somehow it worked out within that time frame. And today everyone had a little bit more space and time.
We did. So even if you're only here and there's only a couple of you, that's more special than just like
Mhm.
6 or 7 people. So with
Social button.
that, yeah, so we're going to close out, but thank you, Linda and Massendia, for your messages
Pleasure.
today. It was very beautifully done, very beautifully said. And I think the ladies had taken in something today for sure. So we appreciate that. With that, again, August 7th will be the next channeling connection. Please make sure you guys tune in. If everyone's going to be busy over the summer. We know things are going to happen. So watch our socials. We'll be putting it up. But again, if you want to try and sign up right away, we will take submissions for that ASAP. So even after this, you're going to go over there and sign right up and we'll take you in. So that's wonderful. With that, have a great day, guys. And I will be back tomorrow for the Shift Happens show with Dina, which will be fun because we're going to talk about like some summer shifts. So that'll be fun leading into summer. And then Connected with Carrie will be on Saturday. And with that, I guess it's just going to be a busy summer. So enjoy it. Have fun. Remember to breathe and get that inner child and get out there and play. Right? Now's the time. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.